Have you ever looked at your dog, when they're just curled up on the couch, and thought to yourself, how is this adorable, furry friend possibly related to a wild, howling wolf? It just seems impossible, right? Well, today, we're going to unravel that exact mystery.
We are about to dive into an evolutionary journey that kind of turns our whole idea of domestication completely on its head. This isn't really a story about humans conquering nature. Nope. It's about a surprising partnership that started way back in the last ice age. And believe me, it changes everything we thought we knew about our best friends.
So this is the big question, isn't it? On one hand, you've got the gray wolf. A symbol of the untamed wild, cautious, incredibly skilled. And on the other, our dogs, trusting, loyal, and just so deeply woven into our lives. How in the world do you bridge that gap?
Okay, so here's where the story gets really interesting. The classic picture we all have in our heads is of our ancestors, snatching a wolf pup from its den. But what if that's not how it happened at all? What if the wolves chose us first?
And it all hangs on this one really powerful idea, the self-domestication theory. This completely flips the script. It suggests it wasn't about human dominance. It was about animal intelligence and adaptation. Wolves realizing that, hey, getting close to these humans, that's a ticket to an easy meal.
So how did this actually play out? Well, think of it as natural selection, but for friendliness. The most aggressive wolves, they were seen as a threat and probably driven away or killed. But the bolder, less fearful ones, the ones brave enough to scavenge near human camps, they got access to a reliable food source. And over generations, that trait got passed on, creating a whole new lineage of proto-dogs that were genetically wired to be more comfortable around us. It was literally evolution happening right at the edge of the campfire.
It's a really compelling theory, right? But what does the science actually say? So now, let's play detective. Let's follow the evidence trail that researchers have pieced together, using clues from genetics, archaeology, and even the behavior of wolves today.
Our first piece of evidence is written in the very code of life itself, DNA. By looking at genetics, we can basically peer deep into the past and see the moment this ancient relationship really started to form.
And what the genetics show is just fascinating. See, dogs are not descendants of the gray wolves we see today. Instead, both of them, dogs and modern wolves, they evolved from a common, now extinct wolf ancestor. Their evolutionary paths split tens of thousands of years ago, which strongly supports a long, gradual process of domestication, not some single, sudden event.
All right, let's move on to our next clue, which comes from deep within the earth. Ancient bones, they tell a story that DNA alone can't. A story of how these early animals actually lived and died right alongside our ancestors.
So just how far back are we talking? Well, the fossil evidence is kind of staggering. The earliest dog-like remains that we've found alongside humans are up to 33,000 years old. To put that in perspective, that is more than 3 times older than the invention of agriculture. This wasn't some recent development. It's one of the oldest partnerships in human history.
And the way they were buried, it speaks volumes. These animals weren't just tools or livestock. Archaeologists have found these proto-dogs buried with real care, sometimes laid to rest right alongside humans. That points to a deep emotional connection, actual companionship, right from the very beginning.
Okay, so for our final clue, we don't even have to dig. We can just look at the behavior of wolves that are alive today. Their actions provide a kind of living echo of the exact traits that likely kicked this whole process off thousands of years ago.
And we can see this exact thing playing out even today. While most wild wolves are incredibly shy and wary of people, there are populations that live near human settlements that often show way less fear. They're bolder scavengers. This is a living example of the exact behavioral trait that would have given certain ancient wolves a massive survival advantage.
So, the wolves made the first move, but at a certain point, the dynamic shifted. This is where humans stepped in and began to actively, intentionally shape the destiny of their new four-legged partners.
This is really where the story pivots. The survival of the friendliest, that's natural selection, had created this tolerant proto-dog. But now, humans took the reins. They started actively choosing which animals to breed, not just for friendliness, but for specific, useful traits. This is the dawn of what we call artificial selection.
Once these proto-dogs were part of human societies, their potential just became obvious. Humans began to sculpt them for a purpose.
The best hunters were bred with other great hunters. The most vigilant ones were chosen to be guardians, and the most gentle became companions. This deliberate breeding, well, it's the origin story for every single dog breed we have today.
So when you put it all together, it's just this incredible story of coevolution. It's a shared journey that's lasted for tens of thousands of years and has profoundly changed both species, human and canine.
And the result of this partnership is truly astonishing. I mean, think about it. From a tiny Chihuahua to a massive Great Dane, the genetic variation within dogs is greater than almost any other animal on the planet. This incredible diversity is a living monument to that shared history between us and those first brave wolves who dared to step into the light of a human campfire.
So the next time you look into your dog's eyes, think about that incredible journey. What do you see? Is it the loyalty of a pack member? The boldness of that very first scavenger? It's a history that's still alive and well, right there in your living room.